Okay, let's try something different.
Welcome back to Minecraft. I'm Dave, and today I kind of wanted to show you something a little bit different. Basically, the creative process that I go through when I try to put together a new build. This is kind of basically a speed build for the most part, but I just kind of wanted to show you my thought process and the way I go about throwing together something new. So there's a little bit of explanation followed by some speed building. But really what I wanted to kind of put this together for is for all of you to see the way I go about throwing something new together, and to also kind of pick your brain, because I'm interested to see if you guys would really like to see these types of builds in the future, or these types of videos, I guess, in the future, or if you'd like me to stream them on some platform, because this is essentially what I do when I throw together a brand new build. Every time I start out on this map, obviously we're getting really close to filling it in. As you can see back here, we're pretty much getting into the interior of the map. We're almost done. This is an original Xbox 360 map that I moved over to my Xbox One, so we're getting very close to being done, so that's pretty exciting. So I'll be starting a new one after that, and hopefully putting this one up for download, so definitely stay tuned for that. As you can see today, what we're doing for this build is War Machine. Again, I would really like to do this in the future and possibly put this together as sort of a streaming video type that I could obviously upload on YouTube as well. So I don't know what platform you'd like to see them on. I'd love to see your comments, whether it's Twitch or Mixer, which is on the Xbox, or whatever. Just let me know in the comments what you think, because I really would like to do more of these in the future. And possibly interact with you as I'm building them, or even take some live requests as I'm building. So I think it would be pretty cool. So if you enjoy this video, definitely hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, it would be awesome if you would subscribe. As always, feel free to leave me any comments, because I want to know your thoughts about what you thought about this. Definitely stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing a tutorial for this build, so don't worry about that. You can obviously see what it looks like right now, and you can watch me throw it together, but definitely stay tuned. I'm going to throw up a tutorial on how to throw together this War Machine build. So with that, let's go ahead and get into this build. Alright, so first things first. So the very first step that I take when trying to start out and build a new build is I really like to try to figure out what blocks I want to use when throwing together a build. So I basically take a look at whatever it is I'm trying to build and just come up with a color scheme for what I feel like is going to best match that particular build. So for this one, we're going to be utilizing black concrete, gray concrete, light gray concrete, red concrete, and white concrete for now. So now the next thing is I obviously use template for like practically all of my builds. And really the super awesome thing about this particular build that we can basically utilize is that I have a build that looks very similar. So we're essentially going to use the same outline for this build and just make the tweaks to the color scheme to make it match, what War Machine actually looks like. So I'm going to utilize an Iron Man build template that I did previously, so that I'm not really reinventing the wheel here. So we're just going to go ahead and build. I'll do the outline, and then you guys can see where we're at from there. Alright, as you can see, we've got the outline done now. I basically filled in the feet a little bit as I was throwing that together, just so I had the ability to build up and whatnot from the base. But that's basically the outline. I mean, that's the Iron Man build in a whole right there, as you can see, at least the outlines of it. So now the next thing is we got to go about filling this thing in to make it look as close to the way War Machine actually looks. So there's a little bit of difference in the way that this is particularly filled in. There's not as many kind of color swatches, I guess, if you will, throughout the build as you would expect and what you see within the Iron Man build. So this build is going to be a lot of the kind of gunmetal dark gray color throughout the build, with a few kind of light gray accents as we go. One of the things that I really would have liked is if I had a block that was a little bit in between my white and red, kind of that looks like the glowing red for the eyes, but I'm going to end up using white for the eyes like the Iron Man build, because it's about the closest thing that we can get to the actual what's needed for the build. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling in. You can go ahead and see what it looks like as a finished product. Go ahead and try to keep watch of where we're at, but obviously there's going to be a tutorial for this build, so you can all put it together at that point in time. So let's go ahead and fill it in, and I'll catch up with you at the end of doing that. comes together after you've kind of done the frame, filled it in. Obviously, as you can see, I made a couple modifications to the original template because we utilized the Iron Man frame for this particular build, but I did quite a few modifications to certain areas of the build. Obviously, I kind of added that shoulder cannon up to the top of the build. I changed the kneecaps up. I kind of changed some of the plating in the interior of the build, and I changed up the helmet quite a bit compared to the Iron Man build. So definitely let me know what you thought about this. I really want to know if you guys would like to see this as kind of a stream type video in the future, because I think it'd be pretty awesome, especially because I could take live requests as I'm building. It would be really cool. Another thing that I just wanted to point out is that I really love to see when subscribers put together builds utilizing the frames that I've thrown together. I know that I have quite a few subs that do that. For instance, Samuel Addy and as well as Remix Phoenix. They both pretty much do this over and over again with a lot of my templates to try putting together their own builds, and I think that's really awesome. And you can always share builds that you've thrown together on your map utilizing my frames and that you've tweaked to make look like your own, because I think it's really cool when I see that, and I love to see your guys' creativity. So with that, it's been a pleasure. Remember to like and subscribe, and as always, take care.